The following may contain controversial and outright provocative content, which isn't a testament to an actual truth and can therefore be a pure fiction. Viewer discretion is advised. Most people I tell this to label me insane, crazy, or psychotic, schizophrenic, but I know exactly what's going on. You might have already heard about this, but maybe not, so here we go. I'm a victim of CIA's continued MKUltra program. I'm a victim of microwave hearing, voice-to-skull, and synthetic telepathy, direct energy weapons, gang starting, etc. A program that originally started by Nazi scientists. You can find a lot of information about the sick people behind this program. The voices are received by the skulls through microwave auditory effect. I've been going through this since January 2014, and at first I was confused out of my mind. Suddenly I started hearing voices. I thought I was going crazy. Then I realized the voices were commenting on things I was doing and so on. Then I thought I was being watched by cameras installed around my apartment. I searched my whole apartment. I slowly started to realize my girlfriend seemed to know what I was thinking. Synthetic telepathy. I know it sounds outrageous and unbelievable, and I was so scared, I was shaking and sweating. She would quickly change the subject and got nervous when I mentioned it. They were slowly but surely making me crazy. Having people gang stalk me. Having people knock on our apartment door yelling, "We're watching you!" Having me think I was in a TV show by saying, "We're recording everything," when I was in camera stores and other public places. They were also making me think my girlfriend was cheating on me, or making her think I was cheating on her to make us break up. They would play her voice for me when I was at work, talking to some other guys, and so on. So their goals are running my relationships and having people turn against me. Also constantly repeating, "You're crazy." And trust me, the more they said it, the more I believed it. So I started seeing a shrink. I explained to him that I'm hearing voices, that my girlfriend's scared of me mentioning it. And he started sounding like the perpetrators, saying some phrases exactly like them. And saying things like, "Maybe you should reconsider stuff about your girlfriend." Or, "Take distance from your girlfriend and family and go out alone. You need to spend more time alone." And as naive as I was, I listened to him. I started going to places alone, hanging out alone, to see if it would help me to take my mind off everything. But little did I know, this was their goal, to isolate me from everything and everybody, so they could make me crazier. Yes, this means they have professionals under their control as well. Anyway, it got to the point that I thought, well, if this is truly going on, if they can see me and record me, then I'm going to put an end to it by doing something drastic. So I took a razor blade and cut my arms. All they did was laugh and keep repeating, "You're crazy." To make a long story short, fast forward half a year, they succeeded with having us lose our apartment. I moved back to my brother's and she moved back to her mom's. And they succeeded with having us break up and turned my brother, who was also my employer, against me, and I lost my job. So I decided to move back to my mom in Sweden, where I used to live, to get real help. All medical professionals I contacted in America were under their control and weren't allowed to help me in any way. A day before my flight or escape to Sweden, they started ringing my ears so loudly that I thought my ears were gonna bleed. They really didn't want me getting real help. They even hacked into my laptop speakers and said, "Wherever you go, we will always be there." Again, fast forward to today, I'm now still recovering. I got real help here in Sweden, with real doctors, with objective to help. Even though they obviously didn't believe me, they did try to help me and talk it out rather than be another form of perpetrator. I have now learned how to control the voices I hear and change up their phrases by figuring out their patterns. So for example, whenever I tried to figure something out at work or school or life in general, they would call me stupid and crazy. But now, I can change it. Before the message comes to me, I think, say, "genius," and what is replaced. It doesn't do much to them, but it helps me from going crazy or feeling like shit. And that's the only way to fight back. otherwise you're screwed. They tried to have my brother put me in a mental hospital multiple times, where they would have total control over whoever treated me. So why am I telling you this? Because you guys are more likely to maybe believe me. I had stopped trying to make people believe me, because it's so much easier for people to just label you insane and not do research. But this is precisely their goal, for it sounds so absurd and unreal so that no one believes you. Anyway, I hope I could at least maybe get you to do some research on this, even if you refuse to believe me. Peace and love, the culprit. I hope you will manage to completely break free someday, and be super careful to give more details about you. You are not in the standard classes, so they might try to find you again. My philosophy is that I know nothing. This being said, I will never stick a crazy tag myself on anybody, ever. Even some professionals are not always truly impartial and assumes things. That being said, I'm sure there is a mental illness for every form of bad feeling that exists. So you might never prove that you are insane, if you really are, and I think that is something you need to accept if you ever want to be partially normal. Sorry to hear about your trouble. The Nazi mind scientists, along with Propulsion and other scientists brought to the US under Project Paperclip, did help the MKUltra program. After the congressional hearings, they supposedly stopped the project, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was still going on. Deceit, lies and manipulation by governments and corporations has only escalated. I will tell one thing that have happened to me, but it's not the result of any type of experience on me. It was the result of LSD bad trip. I was camping with friends, and all of us have taken LSD during night, among alcohol and cannabis. We were at the beach, a group of people sitting in the sand. First, it began feeling like I wanted to go somewhere, but when I stood up, I saw a big vastitude of sand from both sides. Then I sat down again. It happened many times till we got back to tents. That was the worst part. I couldn't sleep, and during the rest of the night and day after, I heard many people laughing at me and joking about me. It was terrible, because we were in a camping park, where there were lots of people camping, and I have felt that everybody was joking about me. However, I could manage it, because I knew that was the effects of LSD. This story is just to say that our senses can be cheated by our brains, so I think that you first have to be sure that it's not the effect of any illness that you have. Promise you, you are perfectly sane. I know MKUltra is still an active project. I have no hard evidence, but I do have contracts. That being said, you must remember the American government has legalized the use of propaganda against the American citizens. Propaganda was invented during Operation MKUltra. They are still controlling minds, and they are still using Nazis to do it. I have been a target of gang stalking for several years now. The only advice I can give is to try to ignore it, as there is nothing you can do about it, and you will only do harm to yourself and screw up your life if you try to retaliate. I wish someone had given me that advice when I first became aware of my stalking over a decade ago, because I was totally unprepared for it. I had no idea about such things. It affected my behavior in ways that led to the gradual destruction of the career I had trained for. I also lost all my family relationships and all my friends. I now been living in my vehicle for just over a year, making a living in the informal economy. I know I'm on a police radar, but for some reason, I'm never arrested. Although police are constantly harassing me, my mail is also regularly intercepted. For those who are skeptical about gang stalking, ask yourself if you would have believed all the stuff that has come out about NSA surveillance if the Snowden leaked has not come out. Now everybody accepts the truth of that. Gang stalking would be harder to expose though, since it's all done through informal channels with deniability a primary concern. It's real though. Lots of people are dealing with it. So what do you think? Is it just his sick mind that's playing games with him? Or is he a target of something more sinister? Share your thoughts in the comments below and share this video with your friends who would like to know what they think too. And if you like conspiracy and mystery videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to get all new Mr. videos each week.